Hello. You might notice something different about this room. That it's completely backwards. This side is actually my right side. I don't know why it's moving like that. It's showing you your no, it's showing you your left side when I move my right side. Before, as you could probably tell, my camera would show when I move this hand, it would happen over here. But no, iMovie has a different camera, I guess. They're special. Anyway, Photo Booth isn't compatible with my microphone here. It's only compatible with the built-in mic, which has terrible quality. Anyway, I changed my hats because the Mario hat didn't seem very appropriate for me to review a Zelda game because obviously Mario is not Zelda. I'm wearing my homemade crocheted blue tunic hat, which my friend's mom made for me a while back. I really like it. It's comfortable and it's warm and it's machine washable. Only Link had a machine washable hat, huh? Anyway, back to the game. Some characters and some enemies that are getting the names wrong. Bubblins. They're called Bubblins. Every green creature or purple creature in this game is a Bublin. Turns out there is no such thing as a Moblin in this point in time. I guess Ganon didn't make any more Moblins and the previous Links killed them all if this story does take place somewhere late in the timeline. Anyway, some NPCs, non-playable characters that are getting wrong. Tallow is a kid, not the dad. Mallow is that little guy. Malon isn't even a person. Talon is Malon's dad from Ocarina of Time. So I don't know why I got him in there. Maybe I'm just too obsessed with that game. Anyway, the non-playable characters I kept forgetting their names, which seems really unprofessional, especially for my starting out with his YouTube videos. Russell. His name's Russell. R-U-S-L. There's no E. Russell. And Ilia, I kept saying Lilia. It's hard for me to tell if it's an I or an L, seeing as the font is so screwed up in this book and in the game. This has the same font as the game, if you're wondering. Okay. Midna. They should come with pronunciation guides. With the people, with like some of the other enemies that I didn't really mention, were the Beamos. The Beamos are back, and the Beamos from Ocarina of Time, if anybody remembers them, they were the giant eyes that turn in circles, and they'd shoot lasers at you if you got too close to them. Armos were those statues that if you touched them, they like went and they started jumping at you, and you had to kill them with bombs, or you had to hit them in their back. In this game, they have jewels in their back to pretty much flat out say, you can only hit us here. I found easy ways to get rid of them. Dark Nuts. Now, I got their name right, but I didn't really explain on them very well. They're slow moving, obviously, because they take forever to get near you. I found easy ways to kill them, but it's kind of like cheating. I don't like cheating on Zelda games. But anyway, back to the storyline that I'm supposed to be reviewing. Okay, so when you get to the Forest Temple, you get aid from these monkeys. Well, you don't really get AIDS. You don't get AIDS. The monkeys help you. They don't give you an STD. The monkeys help you, and they pretty much act as a swing set, and you can swing from them like monkey bars. Pardon the awful pun. You can also, they help you get to parts of the dungeon that are you don't really need to get to, like to get heart containers and stuff that are hidden. Other parts of this game that, well, obviously I gotta go next into the storyline. You go to Kakariko Village after reviving all of the forest. Not all of it, because there's that one spot that always stays in this mist that turns you into a wolf if you touch it, which really sucks if you become a human and you gotta turn back into a human and then turn into a wolf. It's annoying. Then you go to Kakariko Village. Well, at least that's what I did after warping that dumbass bridge over there. Then you have to go get Colin and Ilia from the King Bublin. It's Bulblin. I kept saying it wrong. It's Bulbin. Bublin, Moblin, they changed everything around, which is another reason why I really don't like Twilight Princess. Anyway, you have this jousting match with King Bulbin, and you get Colin off the end of his spear. Colin's sick for a while, and then that one girl who, let's look up her name real quick so I'm not saying that one girl and that one guy. Her name is Beth. The easiest name to remember, and I didn't remember it. Beth. Yeah, well, she likes Link a lot. And then she when Colin gets sick, and as well as the Zora Prince later on in the game, she becomes completely infatuated with those two characters, and she kind of just forgets about Link. Okay, well, after you get your horse back, which you have to do like this wrangling mission to get her, which I really didn't like, then you go to Death Mountain. Death Mountain, as in the Ocarina of Time, is right next to Kakariko Village, which I really like. That's one of the things I liked about Twilight Princess, was that they kept the geography the same. They kept everything in the same spot pretty much, except for Lake Hylia and a few other parts. Because Lake Hylia was all the way to the west. If I'm assuming that Hyrule even had a compass to begin with. I was assuming that in Ocarina of Time, Hyrule Castle was east, Lake Hylia was west, and Gerudo Desert was kind of north. Maybe that's not true. There was no. I always thought coming out of the. Actually, you know what? I'm right. The Lake Hylia is west. Anyway, well, for some reason the Gorons are somewhat, and by someone I mean incredibly pissed at anybody who's not a Goron for this point in time. If you try to get up the mountain, they knock you over and they push you down. And the iron boots, which you really need to complete this mission, and it's not like an optional thing. You can't just choose to get it or choose not to get it. Let's see here. The iron boots, you get them in Ordon Village. How did I not remember that? Oh yeah, that's right. You get them from doing a sumo wrestling mission. And don't worry, there's tons of sumo wrestling in this game. You get to sumo wrestle a Goron. In fact, I think you get to do 3 Gorons. And then you get to wrestle the mayor, who is Ilio's father. Well, then you need to use that to pretty much... You need to pick them up. And then... Actually, no. You need to put them on, use your shield, and beat them down. And then they curl into a ball like they did in Ocarina of Time. And you got to jump on their back, and they'll fling you up to the next level. Then you can go up to the thing... Up to the dungeon. Which, for some reason, they got rid of the red tunic, which I thought was kind of sad, because I liked the fact that you needed to change tunics to go certain places. They kept the blue tunic, but it wasn't really the same, and it gave you this really weird scuba diving feel, which I personally didn't enjoy that much, but maybe I'm just too stuck on the old games. With the fire level, you get to meet a bunch of Gorons. You get to fight this Goron to give you... I forgot what he gives. I think he gives you your arrows back, or I think he gives you the bow. Period. Anyway, after you beat him, you get to go to the boss a little later. Obviously, the boss is like this Balrog-looking thing from Lord of the Rings, and he's chained to these 2 pillars, and he breaks off the pillars after you fight him enough, and then you got to hold his chains, which I thought was kind of cool. You get to hold his chains and make him trip and stuff. After you do that, you go back down to Kakariko Village, and this Native American-looking guy tells you this story. And then you can choose to go around and screw off, or you can head straight to Lake Hylia to do the Water Temple, which is you need to do because you got to get across the bridge. And then to get across the bridge, it gets set on fire by these 2 Bulbins, or Bulbin warriors, and you got to jump off the bridge. I didn't figure this out the first time. You have to push a block over to the edge of the thing or forward to the other edge of the thing, and you got to jump off of it into the lake. I thought you could push the block to eat the fire, and you could have... I don't even know what the hell I was thinking. Anyway, after that, you get down there, and you got to go through the process of reviving those tears on Zora River. You got to get the tears from them, and I forgot to mention the tears in Kakariko Village. They're not really worth mentioning because they're really easy to get. They're not that hard. Then with the Zora River one, they actually are kind of hard, and it takes forever to get them, for me at least. Then after that, you get to go to the water guy who pretty much tells you what's making you a wolf. And then after you beat the temple, you go back up to him, and then Zant shows up. Zant, he kind of like... You get the whole backstory on Zant after that, and you get why he does what he does and what he's doing. And then you get this piece of wood taken out of your head after you get the Master Sword, which lets you go from being a wolf to being a human. Well, that's all the time I have for this video, which I'm sure you're happy about. I only got 30 seconds left. This might actually turn into a part 4, because it turns out there's a lot more to explain than I thought there was. Well, thank you for viewing, and if you feel like seeing the rest of my videos, subscribe. If not, then I guess I understand. Alright, bye.